Hello, my name is Joanna, and today I'll be presenting on toxoplasmosis. Toxoplasmosis is an infection caused by a protozoan parasite called Toxoplasma gondii. T. gondii has a unique shape. It can appear ovoid, which is egg-shaped, crescent-shaped, or pyriform, which means pear-shaped. One important structure is its apical end, which the parasite uses to puncture and invade host cells. Unlike most organisms, this parasite does not contain DNA. Instead, it contains two types of RNA, microRNA and long non-coding mRNA. MicroRNA's job is regulating gene expression and controls how much protein is being made. Long non-coding mRNA acts as regulators in the cell, which allow the parasite to switch between dormant and active. The parasite is microscopic and is about 6 by 2 micrometers. Toxoplasmosis is extremely widespread in the United States. About 11% of people aged 6 and older have been infected at some point. Each year, there are about 1.1 million new infections, and overall, about 40 million Americans carry the parasite. Globally, the infection rate is even higher, affecting roughly 1 in 3 people worldwide. The infection is most common in individuals aged 21 to 40, possibly due to lifestyle factors and food exposure. The people most affected are immunocompromised individuals, such as those with HIV, on chemotherapy, or who have undergone organ transplants, as well as pregnant women, due to the risk of transmission to the fetus. Geographically, warmer and humid climates like Central and South America, Africa, and some parts of Europe have higher infection rates. In the US, there's no strong seasonal pattern, meaning the disease occurs consistently year-round. There are some interesting facts about T. gondii. It can actually alter rodent behavior. Infected rodents become less afraid of cats, which help the parasite reach its preferred host. It is also known as a stealth parasite because it can stay dormant as tissue cyst for many years without causing symptoms. T. gondii has a complex life cycle with 4 main forms: tachyzoids, merozoids, which are only present in cats, bradyzoids, which are also called tissue cysts, and sporozoids, which are also known as oocyst. Humans typically get infected by ingesting tissue cyst or oocyst. Once inside the host, the parasite converts into tachyzoids, which multiply rapidly and spread throughout the body. Eventually, they transform into bradyzoids, forming long-lasting cysts in tissues like the brain, muscle, and eyes. This parasite is very successful because it's very good at evading the immune system. It creates a protective membrane called the parasitophorous vacuole that shields it from host defenses. It also inhibits important immune enzymes like enlotamine 2,3-deoxygenase, or IDO, which allows the parasite to keep replicating. Humans usually produce IDO to starve pathogens. They're also able to prevent apoptosis of infected cells. To survive, T. gondii absorb nutrients from the host. The parasitophorous vacuole contains pores that allow small molecules like glucose, amino acids, and vitamins to diffuse from the host cell into the parasite. This allows it to thrive without needing to synthesize many nutrients itself. The main reservoirs of T. gondii are cats, which are the only animals that can shed the parasite in its feces. Other reservoirs include livestock, which can carry tissue cysts, and soil and water, which can become contaminated with oocyst. Toxoplasmosis can be transmitted in several ways. One is foodborne transmission, like eating undercooked meat, eating unwashed produce, drinking contaminated water, or not washing your hands properly. Another mode is animal to human transmission, like handling cat litter, because cats can shed millions of parasites in their feces, or coming in contact with contaminated soil and then touching your mouth without washing hands. Lastly, there is congenital transmission, where a pregnant woman who becomes infected can pass the parasite to her fetus. Signs and symptoms of toxoplasmosis. In healthy individuals, toxoplasmosis is usually mild or silent. Symptoms may resemble the flu, such as fever, fatigue, sore throat, or muscle aches. During pregnancy, infection can be more serious, leading to chorioretinitis, which is the inflammation of the choroid and retina. It can also lead to hydrocephalus, which is the buildup of fluid in the brain, intracranial calcifications, which is the buildup of calcium deposits in the brain and tissue of the fetus. The infection can also affect the eyes, causing pain, redness, and vision changes. And in immunocompromised individuals, it often causes encephalitis, which is the inflammation of the brain, which can lead to confusion, seizures, fever, and neurological deficits. Other complications may include pneumonitis or myocarditis. The infection begins in the intestinal epithelium, but then spreads through the bloodstream and lymphatics. Once converted into bradyzoids, the parasite can persist for years in the brain, central nervous system, skeletal muscles, heart muscles, and eyes. Complications. For most healthy individuals, complications are rare. For congenital cases, about 70% of children who receive early treatment can reach normal developmental milestones. However, for immunocompromised patients, toxoplasmosis can be life-threatening, especially when it affects the brain. But with treatment, survival rates improve significantly. How to prevent toxoplasmosis. Prevention mainly involves good hygiene, food safety practices. You should cook meat to at least 165 degrees Fahrenheit, wash your fruits and vegetables, avoid drinking untreated water, handle cat litter safely, and clean cat litter boxes daily. And if pregnant, women should avoid handling cat litter entirely. Most healthy individuals recover without treatment. When treatment is needed, there are several medications used. The first one is pyrimethamine, which inhibits parasite DNA synthesis. Sulfadiazine, which blocks folate production, and this selectively affects the parasite since humans don't produce folate, but the parasite does. Leucovorin, or folic acid, which protects the patient from bone marrow suppression. And lastly, spiramycin, which is often used in pregnancy before fetal infection is confirmed. Once it is confirmed, the mother will begin taking pyrimethamine, sulfadiazine, and leucovorin. An infected newborn will also take these 3 medications for 12 months. Altogether, these medications slow or stop the parasite from multiplying. Bibliography. Thank you for listening.